After something like 10 games of teasing the potential of it happening, this game finally lets players take on the role of James, the supernatural detective who's been showing up as the second lead in these things ever since Eclipse. His cousin is part of the crew of a ghost hunting TV show that wander into the wrong mansion, and it's up to the player to unlock the mysteries of the Alexander Vincent Hotel and save as many lives as they can. Which, spoiler alert, is not many. Now, for some hidden object criteria. Elephant Games definitely does a fair job this time. The screens are all extremely well designed, almost no cheating, beautiful art, excellent use of the wide variety of locations offered by the ruined hotel's setting. There was one truly impressive screen that's worth singling out, a desk that the player has to open a couple of boxes on before finally opening the drawer. Once the drawer is open, it transforms into a hidden object scene, and the developers have gone to the trouble of recreating the desk and its contents accurately in the hidden object version of the screen. It's a nice bit of work. Well, 1/3 of them are anyway. As has become a trend in the Haunted Hotels series, the screens are broken down into 3 types: 12 on Mosaic, Silhouette, and Memory. Now, as anyone familiar with these reviews will realize, that's a rough combination. Mosaic screens are one of the best ways to have a list of items and still justify the whole search. Memory screens don't belong in hidden object games, as they ask the players to just haphazardly click around a screen, with no skill or attention to detail involved. Silhouettes are either far too easy or nearly impossible, and this game has one of the worst examples I've ever seen. The whole point of silhouette puzzles is to pick items with a recognizable silhouette. Do you have any idea what that black blob is supposed to be? Does its outline communicate any information at all? Eventually I clicked on the hint button and discovered that it was supposed to be a melted candle, an item with no standardized image. What a complete disaster. The story is a real mess, and no amount of competent puzzles can save it. A team working on a ghost hunting TV show, in 1969 oddly, is waylaid by the evil ghost of the hotel's former owner. But why? We never learn anything substantial about the hotel's backstory. Apparently a guy loved his wife, and then she died, and then 100 other people also died? Perhaps the guy died and became a killer ghost, or maybe he serial killed people before dying and becoming an evil ghost? Absolutely nothing is clear, and it's a huge disappointment. Here's what a mess the story is. James's cousin, who he's there to rescue, coincidentally looks exactly like the ghost's dead wife, but that never factors into the plot in any way. Perhaps the resemblance is why she survived the initial ghost attack? There's no way to know because the game's not interested in telling its own story. The game is set in 1969. At one point, the player goes through a wallet and has to use 3 coins. One of them is a Canadian nickel from 1975. Probably not. It's another set of solid puzzles and beautifully drawn locations, but there's no real closure for the story. In the extra hour of gameplay, the only new revelation is that the hotel was built atop a confluence of ley lines, which ends up raising more questions than it answers. This is a be careful what you wish for type of situation. I've wanted to play as James for 10 games now, and after his prominent appearance in the stellar Personal Nightmare, I was primed for the definitive Haunted Hotel experience. Who would have imagined that what I'd get was perhaps the weakest entry in the series since Elephant Games took it over? Hopefully next time they'll figure out a more coherent story before they start the game, and focus on telling it in an entertaining fashion. And if James stays the star, well, that would be good too. Just saying. This review is based on a copy of the game purchased with my own money. If you'd like to watch the playthrough that led to this review, just click on the rectangle that allows you to do that. See you back here for the next review, but until then, au revoir.